Dave's Big Dictionary. Extra, tell all about it. It's Dave's Big Dictionary. So Dave's Big Dictionary is pretty simple. Joyce, early in the program, flipped through this dictionary, put her finger down completely at random, and came up with the word geology, a noun, where the hell is it? The science dealing with the structure of the Earth's crust and the development of the various layers, includes the study of rock types and fossil forms, the structure of the Earth's crust in a given region or place, or a book about geology. So now I'm going to talk for about like 8 minutes about geology, which is one of the courses. It's interesting. I was always surprised when I was teaching at the university for the previous few years, and I was teaching in the English department and occasionally in the theater department. But when I had these undergraduate kids, and they had courses that they had to take. What is that, Lacey? What does that stand for?
Liberal arts core.
Core courses. Liberal arts course. So, if they wanted a liberal arts degree, they couldn't just take stuff they were interested in. They had to take like other stuff. So I could go flipping around. And I had to do this back when I was going to undergraduate at NYU 35, 40 years ago. It was like, oh, I don't want to take a science here. You got to take a science. And back then they had a science that was sort of geared towards people who were interested in being filmmakers and photographers. So you took that one, right? And then, want to take a history, got to take history. You want to take a language, got to take a language. You get these core courses, so you're supposed to be a well-rounded person with a well-rounded education as an undergrad. And then it's only when you do a master's or in your last year of undergrad college work that you really concentrate on your major and figure out what the hell you're doing. There's definitely something to that, especially if you go into college thinking you're going to be something and then realize you don't want to be that. But then there's also a thing of like, oh my God, I know what I want to be. Why do I have to spend all this money and all this time and get a good grade in something I will never use, never care about, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So what always kind of surprised me about so many of these undergrad kids is that one of the it's not really elective, one of the choices that they would make in terms of the core, they took geology.
Because it's an easier science than the others,
Is it? It's probably just a lot of memorization, I would assume. So if you're good at memorizing, this is crust, and this is magma, and this is igneous, and this is sedimentary.
Crust. I like crust.
Right, yeah. It's sedimentary, my dear Watson. So if you learn that stuff, you don't have to, it's not a science that's going to involve you filling beakers with chemicals and then writing out formulas for compounds. And it's not a science that's going to have you cutting into frogs. So I guess you're right. I guess it's sort of like you sit through the lectures, you watch some videos and movie demonstrations. You maybe get to, if you're lucky, you hold 100 different types of rocks.
There you go.
And then you look at them and you memorize how to identify them. And then you get like an A- in the course.
Here, listen.
Yeah.
Geology is the study of the earth. How it works, and it's a 4.5 billion year history. They study the important problems such as energy, water, mineral resources, climate, hazards, landslides, earthquakes, and floods. It's about hazards, rock falls, radon, landslides, quick clay, earthquakes.
That is actually all really interesting.
And use the past to predict future outcomes.
That makes me want to take a geology course. Mm-hmm. Well, that sounds absolutely really cool, because to me, it was always like, let's look at rocks. Go to the beach, get a rock. Is it all jagged?
A lot of people who study are frackers, right?
Oh, well, that's a good point. If they want to be in the oil and shale industry, or if they belong to shale oil. Yeah, okay. I guess I kind of get that. And yes, when I was young, I had a pet rock. I think we all did. I don't know if we named it. I don't know if we named it Rocky. Probably named it something Jewish, like Myron. And we had probably put little eyes on it. I really don't remember. I'm assuming because I had a mood ring at some point. I must have had a pet rock, and would have been good. They never had noses. Maybe if it was a rock with a long, jutting nose, I'd be like, oh, that's cousin Myron. What?
What was your pet? There's more people and they have her much more.
Who's tuning in?
It
Gives me time to think about rocks here. Yeah, and the Earth's crust. Well, think about it. This is another thing that I would like to know. Somebody tell me this, please. Again, we can put a man on the moon. However, I said before, why can't we use poo instead of taking blood? Well, what?
Remember the thing we watched about the guys obsessed with aliens? They like geology. Remember he had some chemical, like the 551st chemical or something?
Oh, well, he had to do, yeah, there's another Netflix documentary about this guy from Area 51 who seems, he's normal, but maybe a little crazy, but also NASA, or not NASA, whoever, the FBI denied that he was ever a consultant or an expert, and actually he was.
Denied he ever went to school. It was very weird.
But here's the deal. So if we can do X, Y, and Z, tell me something. We all know that a horrible, scary, huge 8.9 earthquake is going to hit the West Coast at some point. It probably might hit Thailand too, might hit other countries, or Chile or Italy. But certainly California is due. New York is due for a big one too, I'm sure. But somewhere on that fault line, San Andreas, whatever. Why can't they take a drill and go deep into the Earth's surface, into the crust, like plow right through, hit some Chinese guy in the head. You go so far deep, right? And then you pull the drill out, and now it's got this vacuum, this hole there, where the stuff can go, so that all this stuff that's building up and building up and building up, now it's got a place to sort of go. It won't, but it's under all this pressure. If you drill a hole, it relieves the pressure. Kind of like if you've got a swollen brain, they drill a hole in your skull, so it's got a place to your head's not going to explode. It's going to relieve the pressure. Drill some holes real deep and real big into Earth. Don't just be looking for oil and stuff. Go so deep into like the magma thing. What's under magma? Lava, something, and get it in there, and then have this thing so that the Earth will not be like, it's like, it's all right. Like the Earth can relax because it's got the holes and stuff. I don't know. I think that is a very, I think that can work. I think that is something that, what do you think? Do you think that's a crazy idea?
I don't think that's a good idea at all.
Why would that not?
Fill it with the boneless chicken wing.
That's right. You fill it with saucy nugs, or no, you fill it with the sauce, and then you wait. You fill it with just sauce. You fill these holes deep in the earth with sauce, and then you stand there with raw chicken parts, any parts of the chicken that you want, and then you wait for the explosion, and then the sauce comes out like piping hot, because it's being in the earth, and it just goes, and it covers your nugget. It's a thought.